Invited guests, family members and children of late Elder Chief Nosa Peter Osifo, Esquire, converge on Stavik Event Center, GRA Benin City, for the service of songs held in his honor. The beautifully decorated hall, befitting the personality of the late legal luminary MP Osifo Esquire, and has inspired young lawyers and impacted humanity through his profession.
He was a friend from the day I started practice in Benin. We were quite close. And I can testify that everyone that is here today is genuinely here because MP meant a lot to that person.
MP lived to his dream. May his soul rest in perfect peace. And may God grant you the fortitude to bear this irreparable loss.
I first met the man I fondly called a pa. He was a very straightforward and simple man. And I remember a few days before he translated, I was with him too. I visited him. As soon as I came here, I looked at him. He managed to look up to me. To me, it was a life, a fulfilled life that he lived. A life that is full of things that people like us can remember, and it is for good.
The Benin Choral Group and Church of God Mission Choir ministers songs to the glory of God. The District Presbyter of Church of God Mission International, Igwosa, Reverend Peter Edemu, admonished the gathering to amend their ways acceptable to God. The body of late MP Osifo Esquire was moved from UBTH mortuary to the High Court of Justice on Sapler Road, Benin City, where legal practitioners, including the Chief Judge of Edo State, Justice Joe Acha, eulogized Barrister MP Osifo as an upright gentleman who never cut corners to be successful.
During his lifetime, Elder MP Osifo was shown as one of the brightest of his time. In words of Mark Anthony, his life was gentle, and the elegance so mixed in him that nature might stand up and say to all the world, this was a man. MP was indeed a man.
He groomed me for a day like this. He would always say, a day will come when you will go to the court. That day, you need to stand and show all I have shown you. And he would say, many people will be looking and ensure that when the casket comes in, they know that Osifo has arrived.
The MC, towards the closing, said something. He said he has not seen a service of songs like this in Benin City. From the inner and outer back, I'm telling you, children of MC, so particularly the song, Elder Osifo, I'm saying thank you.
We are here to pay the last respect to Barrister Osifo. While he lived, he was a distinguished attorney. He was a lawyer, the people's lawyer.
The convoy that conveyed the body of Barrister MP Osifo made a brief stopover at his office on MM Way before being transported to his residence on Gabano Hotel Avenue, Igwosa, amidst celebration.
From creation, as it were, man was made from dust, and man is expected to return to dust.
Barrister MP Osifo takes his final bow as he was laid to Mother Earth by Reverend Peter Edemu, who also prayed for his wife, Dr. Mrs. Linda Osifo, and entire family members to take solace in the fact that he lived a godly and fulfilled life. The event thereafter shifted to Elysium Event Center, where guests were treated to a lavish reception and were also served with choice food and drinks. The hall, which was packed full with dignitaries from all walks of life, including those in the judiciary, the medical profession, business mogul, captain of industries, the academia, among others within and outside the country, were given a presidential treat in a well-coordinated atmosphere, carefully organized by Georgia event and planners, who is also one of the daughters of late barrister MP Osifo. Some guests, including the children, Magistrate Esosa Ehigiegba, Mr. Elder Osifo and Barrister Osai Osifo, said their father will be greatly missed.
My dad was a great man, from the numerous testimonies that have been coming, people, the lives he's affected. I didn't know that he had impacted in so much lives until after his death. My dad had a very large heart. He lived for humanity, and his legacy will continue to live in us.
He was a great man, and he took his time to train us and to bring us to this point, And like I've said all week, we grew up knowing what our family mantras were. And first, he always talked about hard work and integrity. And that's why you hear me all week talking about Seth thou a man, diligent in his duties. He shall stand before king and not mean men. Also, he talked about no food for lazy man. So we grew up knowing that you must work hard for your day-to-day activities. So yes, I will miss him a lot.
My dad was a very hardworking and diligent person. He taught us that hard work pays, and we can see from his life that he was a hard worker. He did not cut corners, and personally, I'm going to take that with me going forward. Having all the quarrels, fights, laughs, he was literally my best friend, so I'm absolutely going to miss him. And now that he's no more, nobody's going to fill that vacuum anymore. I miss him, and I pray that he continues to rest in the bosom of the Lord.
He loved his family so much, especially his grandchildren. So we'll miss having his advice, his dedication and commitment to us. So we'll miss his love.
Elder Osifo was someone who loved the family very dearly, and he was very deliberate in everything that he did. We spent the last Christmas and New Year together, and we will really, really miss him.
He's a man blessed in both areas and accomplished. He has served this country, served the Edo people, and he's blessed with good children and a wife. Sometimes when nature calls, we will not say not now, but God knows the best.
He is a very vast man in Benin culture. His death was a big blow to both families. His grandson, who is also my grandson, is always telling us that his grandpa is in heaven.
He's a wonderful human being. He was somebody who was passionate about his family, those around him, and he was always willing to help others.
An intellectual colossus, a man who has contributed immensely to the development of legal system in Nigeria. I want to appreciate my late brother, Edo Osifo. He was a very nice man. He's a great man, a man that loves children, a man that loves football, a man that is generous and is very kind to people. And I thank God that he left a good legacy for the children.
The funeral ceremony of late MP Osifo Esquire clemassed with special Thanksgiving service at Church of God Mission International, Igwosa District Headquarters. Pastor Peter Edemu offered prayers for the family members, especially for his wife, Dr. Mrs. Linda Osifo.
On behalf of myself and my entire family, we would like to thank this church very much for standing by and with us throughout this entire ordeal. It's a very huge loss for us as a family. Honestly, we haven't got, I don't know how we're ever going to feel that, because everywhere and anything you talk about, you think about, our father was center of it all.
Elder Chief Nosa Peter Osifo, Esquire, who died at the age of 71, is survived by wife, Dr. Mrs. Linda Osifo, children and grandchildren. The 4 days funeral activities were eventful, and its memory will linger in the minds of many who graced the events. Roslyn Eworame, reporting for Memories.